Hello guys, welcome to Esports Africa News podcast. Today, let's talk with Priest. Priest, introduce yourself to us.
Hi everyone, I'm Priest. I'm a, what do I even call myself? I'm a content creator. I'm an esports commentator, live streamer, vibes on vibes, that kind of thing.
Aw, vibes and vibes. So Priest, how did you get into the gaming space?
Oh, how did I get into the gaming space? I mean, I've been playing video games since I was like really young. It's one of those stories where people tell you that they start playing video games from the age of 5, 6, 7, that kind of thing. But my first game, it was my dad that bought me my first video game. Was a PlayStation 1 in I think like 2005 or so, or 2006, somewhere around that time. And it was a reward for coming first in class. So that was the reward.
Okay.
For it was also like it doubled as a birthday gift as well. So that was when I started playing video games, and then cascading down to where we are right now. Gaming has always been a part of my culture. It has always been a part of me, and I've enjoyed every single aspect of it. But when we're not talking about esports, I would say maybe 2020, during COVID, that period where everyone was sitting at home.
Almost everyone started.
Yeah, we're all sitting at home looking for what to do. And then I was playing PUBG Mobile at the time, and I was arguably one of the top 3 players in the country. So, and just from there, I took it all upon myself to keep grinding. And then Red Bull came with the MEO, where I qualified to the finals. And then from there, it was just,
just doing big things all around, yeah. So what really inspired you to start streaming?
What inspired me to start streaming? Well, first, the game was hard. The game was really hard.
Okay.
There was this tournament I played in. It's called the Esports League. I think that was the first tournament that ever paid me like serious money for participating. I think the prize pool was like 15,000 USD back then. So
in this Nigeria?
It was an African tournament.
Oh, okay.
So this was when I was still playing competitively.
All right.
So that tournament, right? My team and I, we ended up crashing out in like the quarterfinals or something. And yeah, we still got paid at that for getting to that stage, right? But the manner in which we crashed out told me that my legs had gone. It's time to pack it up, bro. It's just time to let it go. So after that, and we now started to have more tournaments in Niger,
Okay.
So I look forward to those. And then I realized that, someone is broadcasting this, people are watching this, how is it done? I want people to come to my channel. When they look at my channel, I want them to see, okay, the tournament is going on.
Yeah.
You can watch it here, and I'll be providing some commentary. Before I kicked off, I was doing background commentary. Some people would never know this, but there used to be tournaments going on, and I would be in the background dropping commentary, but I didn't have. No one knew. Like there was no.
You're just hearing voices, but
exactly.
No faces.
And it started off with that, and I used it to build my confidence, and then I branched off and started doing it all on my own, understanding the technicals involved. There's a whole lot of technicals, a whole lot of equipment that goes into live streaming. So,
right.
And I picked up on it, and I realized that this is a niche that there's not a lot of people in that provide you with an avenue to watch something. We watch football, we watch so many other sports, but there's a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes that brings that content to your live your live
TV,
screen, to your TV. So, and I found myself in that niche, and I just stuck to it, and it brought me closer to the audience, always interacting with them, giving them predictions, thoughts, on what they're watching, as someone who also played in the game, so that was pretty much how I got into it.
How do you balance live streaming, commentary, gaming? How do you balance that with real life? Do you even have a relationship?
I have a relationship, with God, of course. And we also love that relationship with God. We love those. We take those every day. But if I'm being honest, it's really difficult. No one really tells you how it's done. No one really tells you which way to float your boat. But as it stands, it's always going to be very, very tricky to balance a lot of things, because my schedule is always a mess. It's always very difficult to understand it because I am at the, I'm at the whim of tournament organizers most of the time.
Okay.
You know, I've turned down a lot of gigs because nobody tends to want to ask you, are you actually available for this thing? You know, they just, you know, pull up on you, and then, you know, they want you to do something. And like I said, I'm just usually at their whim. So that's why I love organizations that, you know, take into account and then drop like a calendar or something to let you know the plans they have, what times and stuff like that. So for the most part, that is one chunk of it. Then, you know, on the day-to-day, I'm a homebody. I don't really be going out like that. The only thing I do like to attend are, you know, esports events, tournaments, stuff like that when I'm not working, and just to be in view of community, exactly, you know, stuff like that. And outside of that, you know, I do love to spend time with family, but you know, I'm a homebody. You know, if you want to see me, you gotta come to my house or something.
So in a nutshell, you're single.
In a nutshell, we thank God for life. In a nutshell, we thank God for life.
They will never come out straight to say they are either single or not single, so that we can find one fine Ushapapa for you. Anyways, moving on. Now we're both in the esports space, even though I don't play, like, maybe I'm not a pro gamer. What do you think we should do more in Nigerian esport ecosystem?
If I'm being honest, I think we should focus more on the grassroots level, you know, because you always have to lock in with the up and coming. You know, if I had known about esports when I was like in high school or something, you know, I would have chased it much fervently, you know, back then. But then, you know, esports we're still in the growing phases. We're still in the, you know, developmental stages of what esports is. But we've all been in rooms where people talk about esports from different countries and how it is over there. You know, it's no longer like a concept in other countries. You know, it's now more of a lifestyle. It is a way of life there. And people have built careers off various parts of esports. And I'm being one of those people, can easily tell you it's more about the grassroots level. It's how well you can connect to the next generation and keep it burning inside of their loins, making them want to do it as well. So I think it's more with how we package esports right now, and then how we repurpose it, because, you know, that is why I love what Esports Africa News does. You know, there's not necessarily a lot of news platforms out there that's carrying up-to-date information. So, you know, that's why I respect, you know, the value that you guys bring. So that's another thing we talk about. It's always about how we present esports to the grassroots level. You know, even at the current stage that it is, it's all about how we purpose the content. So for me, it's just more about tapping into the grassroots level and making esports as accessible as possible, even at the fundamental levels. Awesome.
I mean, grassroots, yes, because some people in the rural area don't even know what esports is. They play casually. Yeah, they have, you know, game centers where they sneak out and play, pay a token, but they don't even know they can actually make huge amount of money playing these casual games they play, right? So, but what do you think is now the major problem? Why are people not hosting lots of tournaments? As maybe an aspiring event organizer, I don't know. I know you work with a lot of them. What is stopping them? Is it the funding, or is it that people are not coming out to participate in this tournament?
I think it has more to do with the number of actual participants we have. I think that is where this stems from. How many participants can you actually get out of their homes to participate in esports, you know, to participate in tournaments, you know, let alone esports? Because for me, esports is competitive gaming at the highest levels. You know, that's what I would call it. I wouldn't necessarily call it casual gaming or showcasing, because those are different things. Showcasing is different, you know, casual gaming is different, esports is also different. They all occupy different niches of the entertainment industry, because it's a subgenre of the entertainment industry, you know. And it's something that I've seen over time, how people tend to come together and showcase what esports is supposed to look like. you know, and we've seen a couple of tournaments, we've seen a couple of events that have shown that yes, Nigeria has what it takes. You know, I'm talking about I think last year we had the Call of Duty Mobile, the LAN event, the one we had the qualifiers for the World Championships that were held in Poland, where the Egyptians won in Lagos. We had the NPL, we had Free Fire, we had Call of Duty do the Deca Cup as well. You know, so there was a lot of tournaments to show. So like I said, it all boils down to the content, how you package these things and show it to those that haven't seen it before.
Right.
Is also going to drive their interest towards it. That's what I feel is the easiest way to market esports. How you package the content, how you present it, the way you make it look. You know, you add a little bit of gang, you know, that kind of thing. So I think that's just
some African flavor.
You know, exactly. So that's just what I feel, that's just what it is to get more people interested. You know, you have to show what you're currently doing and make it tasteful enough and inviting enough that others will also want to participate as well.
Sell your market. If you're an event organizer, sell your market, add the African flavor. And that brings me to wonder, why is Africa not in the map or on the map? Why are we not on the map yet? You see a lot of Asians play very loud, they're already there, they even like compete with Europeans, they compete with like other people, but Africans upon everything that we're doing. Like, we're doing so much. Yeah, we're trying our bit, but it seems like it's not enough. What else can we do?
I think the roadmap is a little bit blurry when it comes to, you know, international recognition. I think the roadmap is a little bit blurry, if I'm being honest. But now this stems with something else, and I hate to say, but it's a numbers game. You know, I feel it's a numbers game. You know, as populated as we are in Africa, you know, compared to other regions, the number of active participants for games in other regions are still significantly higher. You know, in those countries, and that is what, you know, companies or brands and stuff like that, they look at. If I want to sell something, will it get traction in this audience? You know, and stuff like that. So you have to look at it from a business point of view, although we are not there yet, you know, but the potential is right there. We have a lot of underlying potential. You can't even deny that. And owing to the fact that, you know, we've been to tournaments, we've been to events. I've been to events where Nigeria is recognized, Africa is recognized as well. Last year we had the PUBG Mobile Global Championship for the first time ever. 2025, we had an African team from South Africa represent, you know, play for 3 million USD. So it shows that they've listened, right? That's one example. The World Champs was another example, you know, and the team was from Egypt. They went to Poland to represent, you know, but it still gives that underlying problem of there's still not a lot of competition. You know, these teams, it's good that they go and represent, right? But they don't do well. You know, that's another conversation though, but it's the reality, because when you go and you don't do well, you represent the entire region, so they will believe the entire region will not do well.
It's true.
Exactly. That's something else, you know, and I feel it's more of because of the fact that there's not enough players, there's not enough competition for you to really know who's really great. Right, and I think that's just where we are at. So I think with more time and more resources, more practice, a whole lot of practice, more
pushing,
exactly. You know, those kinds of spaces, you know, because these countries, these other regions that you talk about, they have these things mapped out. They have coaches, they have this, they have that. Because of the sheer number of athletes that they have to deal with on a daily basis.
Well, sooner or later, we're going to get there. Africa. We just have to keep climbing the ladder until we get there. And we will get there, because we're coming.
Watch this space.
Okay, so we're going to do this or that. So, console gaming or mobile gaming?
Console gaming.
You have to give me an answer within 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go again. Competitive esports or casual games?
Casual games.
Really? All right, live commentary or live streaming?
Live commentary.
Gaming, solo or community play?
Community play.
One game every esports fan should experience.
Blur, the racing game.
Blur?
The racing game, yeah.
You play race games?
Yeah.
Why don't you play?
There's nothing I don't play actually. That's what being a gamer is about, isn't it? Like,
right?
yeah, I'm not boxed in anymore.
But you guys have like core. You have like a core game that you play. Like if it's not this game, I'm not playing it. Do you have any?
Oh, would I say I have a core game that I play though? I mean, Candy Crush. I play like Candy Crush. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like level 10. Yo. I mean level 10,500. Not everyone can step to me though. Don't play, man. Yeah, I'm really him. Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah.
Level 10,000.
Yeah, I'm really him. Yo, none of you can't step to me. Candy Crush, come through. I'll take you on.
He's himself. I thought females play. What's it called?
Yeah, that's another misconception.
I never knew guys play Candy
I don't
Crush.
even know who came up with that idea that there's no gender-based games, dog. This 2026, we're cutting all that out. There's no gender-based games.
I think we should even do Candy Crush tournament.
But again, there's a Candy Crush tournament, right? I think they win like 100,000 USD. Not in Nigeria, but it exists.
Nigeria, Africa.
Yeah, you just look at the structure though, because if you play the game, because I don't know how to set it up.
Right.
Because I don't know what it's going to be like. But in the tournament, like I've watched Candy Crush tournaments. In the tournaments, right, it's organized by King, the Candy Crush dev, so they know how to set it up. They make the players play against each other. Whoever clears the level first advances, but that's a private game. It's created that way, so we have to find out a way to do something like that.
Yes, because they have massive fans in Nigeria. Yeah, I mean, Candy Crush, are you whining me? Since I was in secondary school, every lady I know has Candy Crush in their phones. And when they are maybe on traffic, or even you can see someone playing game on the road, you're walking, you're playing Candy Crush. Just the sound alone. I don't need to look at the phone. I already know by the sound. I know that, okay, guy, Candy Crush. Tasty. There was one time thank you, that's it.
Yeah, I know ball. Trust, I know ball, man. All
right, my final question for you, Chris, is what do you think about African games?
African games. Yeah. Ooh, man, that's a tough one.
Will they ever get to the tournament side?
Man, that's a tough one. I will give a shout out to Gamer Labs though. I think they have like a studio somewhere in Lagos where if you want to be a dev, you head over there, you explore. So
100.
Big shout out to them because that's a big step forward. But I think I don't know what the marketing procedure for those games is, because most of us grew up on AAA games, we grew up on the Grand Theft Autos, the Assassin's Creed, stuff like that, and you see how far the industry has already come. So I think we're still at the ground level when it comes to creating and developing games. It's still very good because there's now a cultural spin to it, because games like God of War, Assassin's Creed, they tap into that whole niche of Greek mythology, stuff like that, and we also have our own mythology in this part of the world. So
Ogun
exactly, that kind of thing. So I mean Ogun versus Thor, I'm there, baby. I watch that all day, man.
My God.
Exactly, that kind of thing. So I feel we are still at the growth phase, right? We're just kicking off. I mean, it's still very early to make any predictions on the trajectory this thing will take, but again, there's no downside to being consistent as long as they are putting in effort, putting in energy. Big shout out to all the game devs. I know it is not easy. It is absolutely not easy. So if they can market this in the right way, I think it will latch on to the audience, but it starts somewhere and they've already started. So we'll just see how it pans out from there.
True. Big shout out to all the game devs in Nigeria and across Africa. Please give us your last and final message to Nigerian esports organizers, Nigerian esports players, game devs, everyone in the esports ecosystem.
Final word. What would I say? I mean, Gaming, esports, it changed my life, I'm being honest. You know, it brought me to meet a whole lot of people, to go to a whole lot of places, to experience a lot of things. And I would say that I would you know, commend the organizers and everyone that has had a hand in putting this together up onto this stage. I really hope they don't give up. Don't give up on us. Now beg, I beg, don't give up. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. It will pay off.
Yes.
It will pay off. It will pay off.
100.
Trust me, it will pay off. Nobody knew Marvel was going to blow.
Right.
Escaladizi. Trust me. But here we are. So it's the same thing. Invest in the stocks and stay invested.
Thank you so much, Pris.
Appreciate you guys.
Really awesome time with Pris. I don't want this session to end, but we gotta pay the bills, bro. We gotta pay the bills. All right, all you guys watching Esports Africa News Nigeria, Esports Africa News
follow,
Global.
Like, share. You know, I mean, see my face now. So.
Do everything. Follow, comment, share, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next session, guys. Stay tuned because the next person is gonna be a banger. Peace, y'all.